problem that came up that the board had to deal with, maybe a problem that's a little bit more contentious and sensitive, and how it was resolved?
I don't know if it's a particular problem that you can pinpoint and say this, but of late, there's been some feeling that not just our advisory board, which is Citizens Police Review Board, but the other advisory boards as well aren't being taken very seriously by the commission and or the city manager.
Which we've heard.
Okay, which you've probably heard. That's mainly a morale problem for some of the boards because these are all volunteers. They're spending their time to try to do a job in the interest of the city. And when some of the recommendations fall on deaf ears, they begin to wonder, well, where am I going?
What's the point?
What's the point, exactly?
But is there, in one of these, either the Housing Authority or the Planning and Zoning Board, is there an issue that came up that you guys had to deal with that maybe was a little bit contentious and somehow you compromised?
Yeah, well, I think when I think of the Planning and Zoning Board, there were several that were contentious there, but frankly, the issue of Smoker Park and the construction there, which you may remember, was something that was really contested. In fact, we had Native Indians singing at the hearing, and we had all kinds of...
We were just talking about that.
Were you really? It's something that, at this point, people don't seem to have much recollection of. But, okay, you do.
I'm old.
No, me too. So I remember these things.
It's good side, it's good side.
And I remember those planning and zoning meetings that went on until 2 and 2:30 in the morning, routinely. And I remember my wife saying, expect me to believe you're at a planning and zoning meeting
Right.
at 2:30? And I said, watch it on TV if you don't believe me.
And how was that resolved? I mean, and what was your role in getting it resolved?
We approved the Smoker Park project, and there's still some controversy about that in terms of how that's going right now today. They're currently going to make some changes over there, and I don't know how that's going to shake out exactly, but the county's involved with that, obviously, and so we'll have to see what they're going to propose that makes sense.
What is, can you go into what this flag program's all about, just for briefly?
Yeah, FLAG is Fort Lauderdale All Green. And it occurred to me, I don't have a lot of strategists and managers. Basically, it's me and my word processor. And I thought...
What is your program?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
That's entirely me as far as I know. I don't know if anyone else doing it. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk. It's sort of a buzzword, going green, a buzz phrase, if you will.
Right.
Going green, and it's popular to go green, but you know...
We heard a lot about that.
Of course. As luck would have it, for instance, as a very small example, I put LED lights on my Christmas tree this year. I just did it because I was told this is a good thing to do. So I did it, and I put them up. And then later I read an article that said, you're saving 95% of your electricity by doing that. Well, I did the right thing for maybe the wrong reason. Anyway, I just feel that the time is right for Fort Lauderdale to begin to take the initiative and create a situation where we have people, and by that I mean I do not want to create another bureaucracy, another department. That's what I don't want to do. What I'd like to do is see this flag program fall under the aegis of an existing department, perhaps utilities, I'm not sure which would be most appropriate, and maybe deploy a couple of people to it, and with the idea of going out outreach to civic organizations, neighborhood groups, residents, even businesses, and go in and tell them what the positives are of going green. This wouldn't be by legislation. This would be by they're told or advised what they can do. They might not be able to implement everything all at once because some of these things cost money, and money is a concern. But they can outline a program that maybe has a 5-year plan, and such things as heat recovery, solar heat, enhanced recycling, better water use, more careful water use and electricity use would just be part of it. Anything that had to do with the ecology would be tied in with this. Like I said, I don't want to do this by ordinance or legislation. I want this to be a situation where you go ahead and take some input and say, you know what? You might tell Gary, you know what, this is working pretty good. Your next door neighbor, you might say, you know, this is actually working. I see some results. I think if people can be shown that any kind of program drops to their bottom line, then they're probably more interested than just for the ethereal idea of the idea that it's a good thing in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're too quick to legislate everything. That's my feeling.
You go to a lot of city commission meetings?
No, I haven't been to them. I've watched them.
Have you watched the commissioner in action, the city manager, how he interacts with the commissioners at all?
From time to